Hello, everyone out there in YouTube land. Welcome back to Diego Knows. I, of course, am Diego. And today we're going to continue to talk about Officer and Gentleman. That's right, Officer and Gentleman, that lovely romantic movie from 1982 that we all love. I mean, you love the movie, don't you? Of course, you wouldn't be watching this if you didn't love the movie, right? Well, what I'm doing here is I'm going to give you an in-depth review. What I'm also going to add some anecdotes of my own personal experience because I was in the military for a long time, all right? And tell you about this movie and explain to you what it's like from a straight man's point of view for a change, okay? Not one of your girlfriends, not one of your gay friends, okay? A straight man who's actually going to talk about this movie and whether it's realistic and what I think about this movie, the characters, the story, the acting, all that kind of shit. I'm going to go over the whole goddamn thing, all right? That's what I do here. I gave you a straight man's point of view. That's a point of view you didn't get, okay, when you watch this with your girlfriends and your gay friends and your grandma. It's an older movie, you know, that kind of thing. So, yeah, I'm going to give it to you straight up, baby, with no lube. No lube here. Okay, so if you cannot handle it, if you're a snowflake, if you're easily triggered, get the fuck out of here right now. Okay, I will not censor myself. Okay, the real question you need to ask yourself is, can you handle it? Can you handle the truth? Because that's what you're gonna get here, babe. I got nothing to gain my line to you, okay? I'm gonna tell the honest God truth about this movie, what I think of it, whether it's realistic from the guy's point of view, okay? I know you all watched this for Paula, okay? Because Paula was the main character. In your eyes, Paula was the main character. Well, in my eyes, okay, I'm like probably one of the 5 guys that actually watched this movie, okay? Zach is the main guy, okay? He's the main character, okay? But for you, I understand it's Paula, but for me, it's actually Zach is the main character of this story, all right? So I'm gonna talk to you about this movie from his point of view, whether it's realistic, whether he acts like a man, all that kind of stuff, okay? And luckily, I don't really have a lot of bad things to say about this movie. This movie is actually pretty good. No, I did not watch it when it first came out. I was a little fucking kid when it came out. But I did watch it before I joined the Marines because, I wanted to prepare myself for what was coming in the Marines. And this was a movie about, a guy who meets a girl, in the military when he's going to his own version of boot camp, all right? They call Officer Candidate School. So yeah, I kind of want to prepare myself for that, okay? Now, obviously, my boot camp in the Marine Corps in San Diego was nothing like this, okay? Zach Mayo was at a fucking Disney World resort, okay, compared to the shit that I had to fucking go through, okay? He actually got laid in fucking OCS. He actually got to leave on the weekends and wear the nice clothes off base, and what the fuck, man? We didn't get to do any of that shit. Okay, no, that's definitely not my experience. Okay, but it did prepare me as far as the women that look to latch on to guys in the military, because us in the military, first of all, most of us are physically fit. We have to meet physical fitness requirements just to be in. Okay, and if you come in out of shape, you're gonna leave boot camp in shape. Okay, they'll diet your ass. They'll do whatever the fuck they have. They'll ridicule you. They'll do whatever the fuck they have to do to get you to fucking lose the weight. But you will lose the weight. So already we're physically fit. Okay, we're getting an education while we're there. The government's gonna pay for it all. Okay, we're going to get automatic housing. They're going to provide us with housing. If we're married, they're going to find a place for us to live. Okay, they're going to provide us with base housing. They're going to give you a food allowance. Okay, you're going to get insurance out the ass. Okay, as long as your husband's active duty. So you're fucking good to go, okay? There's a lot of benefits, okay? And plus you get to fucking leave your rinky-dink shithole fucking town in Jerkwater, Mississippi. You get to leave that place that you've lived in your whole fucking life to go see the world. Wherever your husband gets stationed, you're gonna get stationed there too, okay? It could be Hawaii. Okay, it could be Puerto Rico, it could be wherever, wherever the hell you are. It's not going to be Jerkwater or Minnesota, that's for sure. Okay, so that right there makes it very attractive, okay? And plus, for the naughty girls out there, your husband's always going to be working, so you're going to have your pick of men, dude. There's like 2,500 guys for every girl that's out there, okay? So yeah, I mean, you most definitely, and your husband's always going to be gone. He's always going to be gone working, so of course you're going to fuck around, okay? Plenty of guys to choose from. They'll pay for the dates. They're so desperate to get fucking laid because there's so few women out there, they'll fucking take you everywhere. They'll take you to goddamn Vegas if they have to, okay? Just to fucking, hopefully you'll fucking kiss them on the cheek and shit, all right? A lot of desperate guys in the military, okay? So, yeah, so women have it made. They have it made, so no wonder they want to latch on to us, okay? And that is a real thing. I'm glad I saw this movie before I joined the Marine Corps, because once I checked into my MOS school, my military occupational specialty school, in my case it was in Fort Knox. I was a tanker, 1812 tanker. They were waiting for us when we got off the bus. They knew exactly what day we were going to get there, and they knew what day we were going to graduate too. So they knew exactly what their timetable was as far as getting us hooked, all right? I did not fall for it. I did date a girl in there, okay? But I did not take her with me. And guess what? In real life, this movie was written by a guy named Douglas Stewart, okay, who actually did go to OCS. He did do Officer Candidate School in the Navy. He did meet a girl that lived off base. He did fall in love, but he fucking left her there before he went off into the Navy. He actually left her there when he graduated, okay? He did not take her with her, but he did write the screenplay screenplay. And later on, he decided that the ending would be better if he had taken her with us. So that's why he rewrote the ending. And they actually were not going to put it, when they filmed this movie, they were not going to put that ending in there. They didn't want to film it. Richard Gere didn't want to do it. He thought it was going to be stupid. Okay, he thought the story had already been told, but because it was in the script, they decided to go ahead and film it anyway. And then in the editing, if they didn't like it, if it fucked up the movie, they would have cut it out. Okay, so they filmed the scene where he goes in there, and then apparently all those extras, all those women that were in that factory when they filmed that scene, they were all clapping. That was not scripted. They were all clapping his shit when he picks up Deborah Winger and walks her out of there. So once they saw that, once they saw the reaction that the extras were doing in this scene, you know, it was like, holy shit, I think we need to put this scene back in there, okay? So that's why the movie was so successful. It was one of the reasons it was so successful is because of that scene at the end, okay? But that was not supposed to be in there, okay? Because in real life, the fucker left her there. He did not fucking pick her up and carry her off to fucking Lollipop Land, okay? That did not fucking happen in real life. In real life, the guy, Douglas Stewart, fucking left her there. He fucking left her there in that rinky-dink shithole town in Jerkwater, Kentucky, all right? Wherever the fuck it was. But that wouldn't have been a better ending, though, would it? No, it would not have. Okay, even I agree that ending would have sucked, even though it would have been realistic. It would have been very realistic, all right? Anyway, so I'm Diego. I'm going to give you a straight man's point of view, okay? So please, I have my own experience in the military, okay? So I'm going to talk to you that way, okay? I'm going to talk to you the way I would talk to any guy that I was talking about this movie, all right? Like I said, if you're usually offended, get the fuck out right now. All right, so now let's catch up here. Now, where we left off last time, it was a very dramatic scene. Okay, Zach Mayo, played by Richard Gere, he's an officer candidate school there in Washington State. Okay, and one of his best friends, Sid Worley, who's another officer candidate, committed suicide. Okay, now he committed suicide because he fell in love with some white trash redneck girl who lived off base. Yeah, okay, and she tried to sucker him into marrying her by telling him she was pregnant. She was not pregnant. She was lying. Okay, but he thought she was pregnant, and this fucked him up because she wouldn't have an abortion. Okay, so now he's all scared about what he has to do. So he decides he can't handle the Navy. Okay, he decides he just wants to be a husband and a father. Okay, so he decides he wants to marry this girl. So he quits the fucking officer candidate school, even though he only had 2 weeks left until graduation. He quits. Okay, spends all of his money on a fucking wedding ring, on an engagement ring. He goes to see Lynette, that's her name, okay, to propose to her. She's all excited at first, and then he tells her that he quit the officer candidate school in the 11th week, okay, and that they're not going to get stationed anywhere. They're going to go live with his mom and dad. He's going to get his job back at JCPenney. I'll make floor manager in 2 years, So she's like, what the fuck is this bullshit? So she tells him, no, there's no baby. I have a period already, What kind of idiot fucking quits OCS after 11 weeks? And she basically throws the ring back at him, okay? So now he's all fucked up, all right? He really had nothing going for him. He had a lot of psychological issues ever before he even met Lynette, okay? He was traumatized by the death of his brother. He was so traumatized that he actually ended up being engaged to his dead brother's fiance. Now you do the fucking math, all right? Which he must have done that when he was like 14 and she was like 22. I'm guessing his older brother and his fiance were around the same age, but the math doesn't fucking add up, all right? But apparently he was going to marry her. Like, what kind of fucking woman at 22 decides to stay celibate, okay, until her fiance's 14-year-old little brother is of age? Okay, get the fuck. No one does that. Okay, so that part's unrealistic. But since they never actually show this woman, her name is Susan, by the way. They never actually show her in the movie. We just fucking remember it and then forget about it. Okay, we don't think about it too much. All right, but I thought about it because it made no fucking sense. One of the few bad things about this movie. But anyway, so he decides he's going to marry her. Okay, because he feels obligated to take care of her because his brother died in Vietnam. Okay, which ended like 9 years before this movie takes place. Like I said, do the math. Okay, it makes no fucking sense. But anyway, so he's there. He meets Lynette. He falls in love with her because she says she's pregnant. Okay, and she blows him off. She turns him down. So now he doesn't know what the fuck to do. Okay, the only reason he even joined officer candidate school was for his dad. Okay, because his brother Tommy had graduated officer candidate school and then became a pilot and died in Vietnam. His father also went to officer candidate school and did something. I don't know what he fucking did. Okay, so his father and his older brother both graduated from the school, so he feels obligated to do it as well. But now he says, fuck all this. I never wanted to be in the Navy. I never wanted to be a pilot. I was doing this for my dad. I was doing this for my dead brother. Okay, what I really want to do is marry Lynette, be a dad. Be a father, and all that kind of, and a husband, okay? Well, Lynette doesn't fucking want him. All she really wanted was a meal ticket out of fucking Jerkwater, Minnesota, wherever the fuck she's living, okay? She don't want no Okie from Muskogee, because she can get that there, okay? She wanted an aviator, She wanted to be the wife of an aviator. So she blew him off, and now he's all fucking pissed off. So what does he do? He checks into a seedy motel. He gets a bottle of liquor first. He takes the fucking engagement ring. Thank God she didn't keep it, but he just eats it. He swallows it and washed it down with whatever liquor he had in that bag, okay? And then he goes in the bathroom, takes off his clothes, leaves the door unlocked for anybody to walk in, of his motel room, goes in the bathroom, strips naked, and then he hangs himself with his belt from the top of his shower head. Okay, that's what he does. That's how he handles that situation, okay? Because he's a pussy, okay? I feel sorry for him. I know people in my life that have done this, and, and it breaks my heart. I'm not gonna get all emotional like I did in the last video, okay? But, it breaks my heart when people do this. He gave up on life, even though he was only 23? He had so much life to live, It's sad that he didn't go to any of the other officer candidates and talk to them. That's what he should have done. He should have listened to Zach Mayo. Should have broken it off with that bitch Lynette, but he didn't do that. He decided to fucking marry her instead, which was a bad move, okay? He took her at her word when she said she was pregnant. He completely believed her. He never once questioned her integrity, her honesty, okay, or whether or not the kid was even his. He never once questioned any of those things, which a normal, rational man, at least a man with any sort of fucking self-esteem, would have done. He didn't do any of those things because he has no fucking self-esteem. He was already a broken man before he ever got to OCS, okay? So this is a lot of it is just already, these are things that he should have dealt with already, okay? He at least should have leaned on his fucking platoon to help him out, and Zach Mayo in particular, but he didn't do that stuff. Instead, he kept it all in, and then he blew up when he got rejected, okay? That's not how you want to live your life, okay? It breaks my heart when people do that. Anyway, in the meanwhile, Zach Mayo was all pissed off because Sid was his best friend. They formed a bond. They were both double dating Lynette, and while Sid was dating Lynette, he was dating Lynette's best friend, Paula. Okay, and Paula obviously is in love with Zach. She's not trying to bullshit him. She tried to she considered lying to him and telling him that she was pregnant too, but her mom talked her out of it. You got to be honest, okay? If he doesn't want to be with you, you got to let him go, okay? And her mom talks from experience because that's what happened to Paula's own dad. Her own dad was a naval candidate as well, just like Mayo is, okay? And he fucking left her mom to raise Paula by herself. Now, she eventually remarried with some guy that she did not love, and she had some other kids with that guy, okay? But she gave up she lost the man that she loved, which was Paula's biological father, okay? And I'm guessing that she tried to trap him by getting pregnant. Yeah, Paula was part of her plan to keep the guy there, and he fucking blew her off. Okay, so that's why she's warning her daughter, don't make the mistakes that I did. Don't try to trap him like I did with your father, And so Paul agrees to do the right thing and not do it, okay? So she was actually honest about it, but Zach, our main character, our main protagonist, he has a trouble with intimacy. He doesn't know how to connect with people. He doesn't want to connect with people, okay? So he keeps reliving his childhood over and over again. His mother died when he was a young boy. She committed suicide, okay? And his father didn't want him, okay? Treated him like shit, okay? He was more interested in getting drunk and fucking whores in the Philippines because that's where he was stationed. So Zach had to grow up in the Philippines and get bullied by the other Filipino kids there, but eventually he learned martial arts and he learned how to fuck a lot of whores too, because that was his dad's only way of showing his son any affection was by getting him laid. Okay, so he's been getting laid since he was a fucking little kid, all right? So no wonder he's all fucked up in the head. He doesn't know how to have a girlfriend. He's never had a girlfriend. He's never been intimate with anyone. He's fucked a lot of girls, but he's never shared his emotions, okay? The only time he ever shares his emotions, he gets hurt. So what does he do? He blocks himself off from emotions. He did that as a kid to survive, but unfortunately, he brought that with him into adulthood, okay? So he doesn't know how to form relationships. They scare him, okay? Having feelings for people, even if it's just platonic, like he had with Sid, this scares him. So he keeps people at a distance. He keeps everyone at a distance, okay? Because he doesn't want to get hurt again. Okay, that's why he's so cold. That's why he's so stoic, and that's why fucking Paula don't love him, because that turns him on. Oh, I'm pretty sure all the other guys, because she's a hot girl, I'm pretty sure all the other guys that she met were fucking fell in love with her like that. We're begging her to fucking piss on them and begged her to fucking smell her farts. But here's Zach Mayo, who doesn't put her on a fucking pedestal, who tells her right from the very beginning, hey, I'm not looking for a girlfriend, all right? I'm not even looking for a girlfriend. Okay, so he tells her right away, I'm not looking for anything serious, okay? Well, of course, all this stuff turns her on because now he's a challenge, now he's a challenge, and he can fuck like a goddamn roe beast too, okay? So of course she's in love with him, okay? She cooks him breakfast, okay, she pampers him, she talks to him all the time, she tries to help him when he's upset, she's trying to be everything, she's trying to be a wifey for him. He doesn't want that, and he's starting to have feelings for her. That's why he's opening up about his mom's suicide. He told her about his mom's suicide and how that made him feel, So as he's starting to open up accept her, but then he realized he's gone too far. Okay, he's developing feelings for this girl, so he needs to fucking cut that shit out. So he ghosts her. He fucking ghosts her, okay? All right, so he doesn't talk to her anymore. But eventually, he has to go look for her because Sid disappeared. When he DOR, dropped on a request from OCS school, he disappears. Zach doesn't know where he is, so he's guessing that he went to go see Lynette. Zach does not know where Lynette lives, but Paula does, so he goes to see Paula, and she takes him there. Lynette admits she doesn't admit that she lied about the pregnancy, but she tells him, hey, yeah, he offered to marry me. I told him to get the fuck out of here. I want to marry an aviator, that kind of shit. He calls her a fucking cunt, which she absolutely 150% is, and then he fucking leaves, okay? And then even Paula distances herself from her best friend. She tells her friend, I'm not like you, Paul. I'm not like you, Lynette. And Lynette's like, yes, you are. Okay, that kind of bullshit, right? So anyway, so there's Paula in her fucking Michael J. Fox Back to the Future vest, her life preserver, okay, on the back of Zach's motorcycle while they're riding around. They go to the motel, they find him dead there, okay? So now you're caught up. Damn, that was a lot. All right, so the very next scene here, you got the ambulance there, you got the cops are there. They already put the yellow ribbon around everything in the motel, okay? And we see the coroner's there. They're putting Sid's dead body in there. Okay, Zach goes off by the beach. They're on the coast there. He goes there to go smoke a cigarette and to be alone and brood, which he should not do after a trauma situation like this, okay? And Paula goes to meet him there, okay? Apparently she just got off the phone. She already talked to the base, okay, and informed them what had happened to Sid, okay? And they were going to contact Sid's parents, so she didn't have to do that, all right? So she goes over, she finds Zach brooding, okay, out there smoking a cigarette by himself on the beach, watching the waves, okay? And she follows him over there, and Zach obviously is just completely overwhelmed in self-pity, okay? When he saw his friend there, he talked to the dead Sid. He hugged dead Sid and started crying and talked to him the way he talked to his mom when he was a little boy and he came home from school and his mom was dead, overdosed from a bottle of pills. Okay, he talks to her the same way. Why'd you leave me? Why didn't you talk to me? I was your friend. You never even said goodbye. Okay, and that's what breaks his heart. Okay, and that's exactly what Sid did as well. He didn't say goodbye. He just fucking did it. He took his way out. So he's upset about that, okay? And he tells her, why can't I ever learn? So he's totally into self-pity. Paula's there. He's like, why can't I ever learn? It's just like her all over again. He's talking about his mom, He's just like her, And Paula's like, no, don't do this to yourself. Exactly. Paula's got some sense here. Zach, what the fuck do you always do? Why is everything your fault? Why do you take responsibility for shit you had nothing to do with? Okay, you didn't cause your mom's suicide. Okay? You didn't cause your dad being an asshole. Okay? You tried to help your friend as best you could. You didn't cause these things. Why are you blaming yourself for them? I know why he's doing it, because he doesn't allow himself to feel feelings, good feelings like love. He just shut himself off emotionally. Unfortunately, before he shut himself off as a kid emotionally, there was some feelings that he did feel before that happened. He felt pain. He felt rejection. He felt guilt. These are the things that he felt. They're already inside of him. So when he shut down that door to feeling any new emotions, he kept those in there. So he constantly keeps feeling these feelings over and over again of guilt, of shame, of remorse, of loss. He keeps feeling this over and over again. He hasn't opened himself up to any other emotions. You see what I mean? When someone tries to get in there, he gets scared and he pushes it away. So he's just reliving this shit over and over again. He's got these bad emotions inside of him, and that's all. Whenever he does get emotional, he re-experiences them. That's all. He only opens himself up to that. Other emotions like joy and love, and care, these things are alien to him. They scare him when he feels that way, so he won't label it. He'll throw it away. He pushes it away. Okay, right when he starts to feel it, he pushes it away. That's the kind of person Zach Mayo is, all right? And now he's blaming himself for Sid's suicide, just the way he blamed himself for his mom's suicide, And Paul, don't do this to yourself, But he has to, okay? Zach has to do this, okay? It's the only time he'll let himself feel anything, okay? The pain over and over again, Like I said, I understand Zach Mayo, okay? Paul's like, you didn't kill your mother or Sid. They killed themselves. There's nothing you could have done about it, And she tries to comfort him, but he blows her off. And he says he has to leave. He has to leave right now, okay? And he offers her some money to take a cab, because he's the one, he drove her there on his bike. He offers her some money to take a cab, and she rejects it. I don't want your money. Don't give me that, And Paul's like, you know what? Zach walks away from her. He's like, okay, fine, whatever, fine. He walks away from her, and Paul's like, you're not the only one that's fucking hurting here. Maybe I had something to do with it, Okay, I knew what Lynette was doing. I didn't say anything about it. You know, and Zach just looks at her and goes like, you don't have any problems. Another class is going to be coming through here soon. And then you and Lynette, right back in business. Which is true. It's true. Like I said, we called them cycle sluts for a reason, the Marines, okay? Because they knew exactly when we were going to get there. They knew we were going to graduate. They also knew when the next cycle was going to get there. So they knew what day to come to the fucking parking lot and wait for the bus to show up, all right? So he's actually got a point there, okay? But he's not speaking from logic. He's speaking from emotions, okay? He's turned himself off from people. He's cut himself off, okay? That's what he does. So when you do that, you feel that you can do whatever the fuck you want because they're not real people to you anymore. Okay, Paula's not a person anymore. She's a cycle slut now. You see what I mean? That's how he dehumanized her. You know, because that's the only way he can handle these situations. He's got to dehumanize people so he doesn't fucking have to feel anything from them. Okay, right now he's brokenhearted because his best friend died. You know, took his own life. This hurts him. This hurts him. So he's going to shut down. So now that he shuts down, he doesn't care who he hurts anymore. Because people aren't people to him, okay, anymore. Not right now. They're just abstractions. Paula is not a person to him right now. She's just a fucking cycle slut. The type of girl that Gunny warned him about when he checked into OCS, you know? So that's what's going on. He said, you got no problems. You and Lynette will be right back in business. You know, and Paula's like, that's not fair. I never lied to you. I never did what Lynette's doing. I'm not Lynette. And then she goes up to him and she puts her hands on his cheek. And she's like, I love you. I've always loved you ever since I first met you. You know? She's like, don't you understand? You know, well, this is it. This is it, you know? She figures she's not going to hold anything back anymore, okay? She tried to go over there. When he ghosted her, she tried to go to the base to find him, okay? And then tell him that she was pregnant so that he wouldn't leave without her. Okay, but her mom talked her out of it. So she never got her opportunity to tell him how she really felt. Okay? But now this is it. This is it. You know? She sees the man that she loves is in pain, and it's self-inflicted pain. So she's trying to comfort him. This is a good woman. This is the kind of woman you do want to put a fucking ring on it. Hell, she fucking cooked him breakfast after sex the next morning. What kind of woman does that? Exactly. She gives a shit about Zach. Okay, and not only does she say it, but she shows it too. And that's more important. Any woman can say, I love you. Okay, but not every woman can show it to you. And she's showing it to him. Okay, because she's probably never going to see him again. This is it. Okay, I know you're upset, and I know that your best friend died. Okay, and I know you feel alone right now. But I love you, and I don't want you to go. You mean something to me. You see what I mean? And of course, Zach, being in the mood that I already explained, is like, no, I don't want you to love me. I don't want anyone to love me. I just want out. No, so he runs away. He runs away, you know? And Paula just kind of balls up. Now she turns around and starts crying. You know, he runs away from her. Okay, now why did he do that? Well, like I just said, okay? He's just had his heart broken by Sid. Here's a guy that he's never going to say it, that he loved this guy like a brother. This guy was probably the closest person he's ever had, you know, and this guy killed himself. So of course he's brokenhearted. He was crying about it. He never cries, you know. He's crying about his friend dying, okay? When he loves people, they leave him. Whenever he loves people, they leave him. They kill themselves. Or they just fucking abandon him. Or they tell him they don't want him. So what else is he going to fucking do? This is how he feels. This is what he knows. This is the only thing he knows. He's fucking ignorant. He doesn't know how to handle his emotions any other way. Nobody ever taught him. This is just who he is. He doesn't understand. He's trying to survive. That's all he's trying to do. He doesn't want to end up a suicide victim either. So he's trying to fucking do whatever he has to do to not feel anything. Because if he feels too much, he might just end up like Sid and his mom. You see what I mean? It's a form of self-preservation. It's a form of self-defense. You know? So he runs away. He runs away from Paula. It's not because Paula loves him. He knows that already. It's because of what might happen in the future. Because what happens when people love him and when he loves them back? That's what really scares him. What if he loves her back? If he loves her back, she'll hurt him. You see what I mean? That's what he's running away from. He's not running away from Paula. He's running away from what might happen. Because that's what always happens when he gives himself to somebody. Because just because he doesn't tell these people, he doesn't tell these people he loves them, doesn't mean that he doesn't. He's not the kind of guy that says, I love you. You know, he even loved his dad. And you know how I knew that? Even though his dad was an asshole, you know how I knew that? Because in the beginning of the movie, when he tells his dad that, hey, I'm going to OCS school, and all that, when he reveals that to his father, he tells his father, he says, you know what? It's only 2 hours away if you ever want to come visit me. He actually said that to him. You don't say that to someone you hate. Hey, you want to come visit me? You can. You don't say it. You say it to someone you want to be there. You see what I mean? But of course, he ain't going to tell that to his dad. Of course not. Just like he would never tell Sid he loved her. He loved him. Just like he's not going to tell fucking Paula. Because if he admits it, he's got to admit to himself that he's vulnerable. Yeah. Anyway, so he goes back to school. Gunny's there drilling the platoon. Okay, which means he's marching them. Okay, and Zach pulls up in his dress blues on his motorcycle. He don't even get off the motorcycle. Okay, he goes right up to Gunny. Okay, who halts the platoon. Okay. Now, clearly, Mayo is UA. That's unauthorized absence, okay? He should have been in there being marched, but obviously he was getting emotional doing his own thing, so he's UA. So now he shows up in the wrong uniform, He's supposed to be in that formation. He's not, okay? So he just doesn't give a fuck anymore. He says, fuck it, I am so hurt by what happened. I'm so hurt by what might happen, okay? He's traumatized all over again. Someone he cared about killed themselves and didn't say goodbye to him and left him alone. Someone he cared about, so he's like, fuck this, life ain't worth living anymore. Because there's ways of killing yourself without killing yourself. So fuck the goddamn Navy, fuck my desire to become a pilot, fuck Paula, and fuck Sid and his family for being weak, and fuck you, Gunny. Fuck you, Gunny Foley. Because it's easier to blame Gunny for Sid's suicide than it is for him to fucking blame himself or to blame Sid for his own suicide. It's easier to blame it on somebody else. So he blames it on Gunny. Gunny's the reason, because Gunny was such a hard ass that he made Sid a DOR. No, and that's not what happened. But but as long as he believes that, then he can take some of the burden off his shoulders and throw it at Gunny. Because Gunny's a hard ass and he don't take shit from nobody. All right? Kind of like Zach. All right, so he goes over there and he requests to speak to Gunny Foley in private. Gunny says, no, hey, listen, okay, everybody here knows, the whole class knows about Worley, and we're sorry. The whole class is sorry about it. We all know what happened, okay? And Mayo's like, yeah, I bet you are. So now he's just being a disrespectful asshole, okay, to Gunny. A disrespectful asshole. And I know a little bit about that. I told you a little bit about what I did in boot camp when they wouldn't let me talk to my mom after she gave birth to my triplet sisters. I told my drill instructor, fuck you. Okay, so what do you do when I said that? Not only did he get in my face, okay, he grabbed me and we started struggling. And then the other two drill instructors grabbed me as well. So it's 3 against 1. And they fucking threw me in the fucking whiskey locker, okay? And then they fucking locked the doors behind them, all right? And they gave me a lesson on respect, okay? A lesson on respect, okay? Well, Mayo is basically, he's pissed off. He's violent like I am, or I used to be, okay? Well, I kind of still am now. But, what I mean is self-defense. I don't go out there picking fights, okay? But Mayo's ready to pick a fight. He's so angry. He's so upset. He needs to take it out on somebody, okay? Now, he learned that as a kid when he got bullied, when those Filipino kids beat the shit out of him. He learned that that's a positive way to let go of some stress, let go of some anger, let go of some guilt. It's just beat the shit out of somebody that you're mad at, okay? Because that's probably what the Filipino kids taught him, okay? So who does he pick? He picks Gunny. He picks Gunny. I'm going to beat the shit out of you, Gunny. You know why? Because fuck you. Because you represent the fucking Navy. You represent a system that I am not good enough to be in. So fuck the system then. You see what I mean? So he's like, yeah, I bet you're sorry about what happened to Sid. I want to see you in private, sir. He's like, not now. I'm busy. And he starts marching the platoon away. And Mayo's like, now, sir, I request permission. Okay, and Gunny just walks away, just marches away, And Zach follows him. Don't you walk away from me, basically is what he does, okay? And he demands permission to speak to him, And Gunny's like, not now, I'm busy. Get cleaned up. Now, basically, Gunny's saying, I don't fucking answer to you. Okay? I'm a gunnery sergeant. Okay? I answer to the fucking master sergeants or first sergeants. I answer to the fucking colonel, the admiral. That's who I answer. I don't fucking answer to an officer candidate. You don't fucking give me orders, motherfucker, is what he's telling him. Just because you're upset and you come up to me like this, okay, doesn't mean I have to do what you fucking say. Okay? You need to know your fucking place, candidate. You know? Basically, that's what it is, all right? All right? And Zach stares at him as he marches off. He's like, I don't need your shit. Now, this is the second time he's yelled something profane at Gunny when Gunny was walking away. The first time he tells you, he says, I'm talking to you, motherfucker. Well, now he's like, I don't need your shit. He's like, I came to quit. DOR. Dropped on request. You know, he's like, now, here's the thing that psychologically happened to Mayo, okay? He can fall in line. He can behave, okay, when it's just him, all right? Like earlier, okay, when he got caught selling that shit, the contraband, and he got smoked for the whole weekend, okay, he broke down emotionally, and he agreed internally that he would try to become the best naval officer that he can. He agreed to that. Why? Because it was him that was fucking up. So he corrected himself, okay? He corrected that part of himself. Okay, this is the part that I was responsible for, okay? But that does not include people that he can't control. He can't control Sid. He can't control his dad. He can't control his mom. He sure as fuck can't control Gunny, okay? But yet these people that he cannot control are capable of making him upset. So it's not just about him, okay? He's upset now from situations that are out of his control. So he's right back to being an asshole again. Because this is his default mechanism. This is his autopilot. Okay, when he gets upset, when things upset him, you know, this is how he acts. He gets belligerent. He becomes a fucking asshole. He doesn't know any better. This is what he does. So he's right back to where he was when he started. He's just this fucking arrogant fucking asshole who doesn't give a shit about anybody but himself. But now we know why he's that way. He's that way because he doesn't want to get hurt. Hey, if nobody's going to watch his back, who the fuck else is? You know, exactly. He's got to do it himself. Who else is going to do it? You? No. He doesn't want to depend on people to fucking take care of him, to look out for him. He's got to depend on himself. That's how he's rationalizing this. So fuck you and fuck the Navy. Okay? You guys are all out here to fucking hurt me. That's how he's looking at things now. That's the only way he knows how to deal with the trauma he's experiencing, you know? You know, so he says, I don't need your shit, DOR! You know? And then he gets, you know, like I said, he gets undisciplined and emotional, okay, when he gets hurt. Okay, he says, fuck my discipline, fuck everything. You know, fuck it. You know, I'm going to self-destruct. I don't give a shit anymore about anything. All right? Well, Gunny halts the platoon. He turns around, it's like, and Mayo's like, I don't need you. I don't need the Navy. You know, like I said, what he's trying to do here is he's just trying to get rid of all the things that can hurt him. Paula. If he loves Paula, if he admits that he loves Paula, then she has a way of hurting him now. You see? Sid. He loved Sid. Sid hurt him. He loved his mom. His mom hurt him. He loved his dad. His dad hurt him. You see what I mean? He loved the Navy. Represented by Gunny. Hurt him. Rather than get hurt again, fuck everybody. Fuck the Navy. Fuck you. Fuck Sid. Fuck Paula. Fuck everybody. You see what I mean? That's what he's thinking right now. You know? You know? He's like, I don't need anybody. Exactly. And he walks away. Gunny's like, all right, boy. You want to meet me? You got it. Blimp hanger. Now. Move it. He's like, no, you move it. He's like, we ain't going there to talk, boy. And they start marching over there, taking off their shirts while they're both marching to the blimp hanger. So you know what's coming. All right. I'm going to stop my review right here, but I'll be back shortly to continue my review of Officer and Gentleman. I thank you very much for watching this long, and I'll see you soon on the next one. Bye.